What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball? All right. So hopefully we got good sound finally. Thanks to Lauren.
There. Okay.
How are things going?
First beer I had in a month since St. Patty's Day. So
was that a whole month ago?
That was almost a whole month ago, right?
Well,
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks. So I'm your bad influence, and so you're only drinking when you're hanging out with me.
Kinda, yeah. No, I just don't have time, man. It's no time. I said to Libby last weekend, I was like, I could go for a drink. I was cooking. I was like, I would love to have a beer right now. But then like one beer is not going to be enough. So I would have 2 beers. Okay. But then do I really want to? It's like 4:00 in the afternoon. By like 8:00, it's going to be worn off. You know what I mean? But if I have a beer later for like dinner and then have another one, and then we're going to wake up and be tired. I don't want to deal with that. And she's like, okay, I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck to tell you, buddy.
I'm like, what does that mean, babe? And she was like, I think you're just weighing out the consequences. I don't know. You're weighing out your options.
You're getting old and you're considering the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it one bit. How you doing?
Pretty good. Good. I'm just starting to not be tired from getting back.
Getting back from where, Dan?
China. I
thought you were going to be gone for 3 weeks in China.
No, I was gone 10 days on a Saturday. So it was like through 2 full weekends. So I've been back for what? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 5 days now. But it's kind of crazy when you go to like
You've been back for 5 days and you're just starting to feel normal?
It's 15 hours off.
Wow.
Which is a lot. And so when you go west, so from California to go to like Australia, China, Japan, like Southeast Asia general region, you fly west like 14 hours over the Pacific Ocean. And then you lose 15 hours. And so like I left at 2 p.m. on Saturday and I got there at 6 p.m. on Sunday. And it was a direct flight. So you cross the international date line, so you lose a whole 24 hours when that happens. And so it's a little bit weird. And then on the way back, it's a little bit shorter of a flight because you have like the tailwinds, but it's a 13-hour flight, but you are off by 15 hours. So I took off at 4 p.m. and I landed at 2 p.m. So I landed before technically I left.
It's
so
trippy.
Weird.
It's
so weird.
Yeah.
So I had like a, I don't know, 24 plus.
You technically gained it. Like you skipped over that day.
Yeah. I had like a 40-hour day.
It's like Back to the Future. I skipped over that minute to arrive at this very moment.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's a lot of travel, and sometimes jet lag is like when you're off by like 7 hours or something, you like can't sleep at night because it's like the middle of the night or the middle, and then when you finally wake up, you're tired. You're so far off that your body has no idea what's going on. And so you're kind of just in this like medium state of tired all the time while you're there. Plus we were super busy. I mean, literally the second we got there, it was morning to evening meetings and then dinner. I was in Shanghai for 3 days, and then we took the train to Beijing in the morning and then met with people that afternoon. So it was kind of just like go for the whole 10 days. So it was really fun, but tiring.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, but I did get to do some cool stuff. So I took the bullet train. So the distance between Shanghai and Beijing is like twice the distance between LA and San Francisco. So it's like 600 miles.
Okay.
And the train it cruises at 215 miles an hour. The average train in America travels at like 80 miles an hour. So, I mean, you're moving. Like those telephone poles are coming up quick. Like it feels really surreal because it's kind of like, you're on a plane. Planes go like 500-600 miles an hour, but you have no reference point to feel how fast you're going. Whereas like, imagine you're in a car, like you're on a track and you're going by towns. It was an express train. So we were going through a station that it wasn't stopping at 200 miles an hour. So you're whipping through a station at 200 miles an hour. Like talk about puckering up your butt cheeks.
Was that trippy? It
was very trippy. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
It was a pretty cool experience.
How many kilometers is that then?
Kilometers per hour?
Yeah.
357 or something. 377. It's 0.26. I can do the math.
I was gonna say like 620.
345.
Not bad.
620 would be 384 miles an hour. It's 0.62
Okay.
miles is a kilometer. So that's the math.
Okay. You're lucky I know miles per hour. No, that's awesome though. But could you like when you were on the train, did it feel different?
There was a inertia there. Once you were at speed, no, but it speeds up pretty quickly. Like, so they actually have a speed thing like up at the end of the car that you can see. And when you start out, you're going like 50 kilometers, then it's like 100 kilometers per hour, then it's like 200, then 250. Like you get up to speed in like only a few minutes. So like you kind of feel it in your back, like you feel the acceleration.
That's cool. If you were standing, would you be like
I don't know, I wasn't standing. Yeah, but it was interesting. Very different than the United States. And I know they have bullet trains in other places too, but it was kind of cool.
Do they? Where? Europe? Is there one in Europe?
I think Europe has some high-speed rail. Japan has plenty of high-speed rail.
I know Europe has the Hogwarts Express.
Yes. Well, the difference, and this is what I learned too, is like the standard tracks that we use, which is called, it's called the ballasted track. So this is a term that I learned.
Is it a track that, isn't it something that's more like secure around as it travels?
I don't know.
Right?
Maybe.
It's not like our typical track where like the train just sits on it.
No,
right? Isn't it more like the wheel kind of, you know what I'm trying to say? Almost like an Amtrak, but not.
Mm-hmm. I do. Like it wraps around the track. Like if you're on
a monorail.
Like a monorail. I don't think that's the case. I don't know.
No?
I could be wrong. But basically, so the ballasted track, so it's a traditional type consisting of rails and cross ties that are laying in stone. And I guess I don't know why they do that, but it allows for some amount of flexibility.
Yeah.
And it's also like way easier to lay. Whereas then there is a ballastless track, which is instead of the ballast layer, it's just a concrete slab with tracks on it. So it's like way more rigid. And so that's what they need to be able to do the high speed rail.
Right.
And so like
you don't want it to give.
You don't want it to be moving at all because
Yeah.
you're moving so freaking fast that it needs to be smooth.
Yeah. That'd be like Final Destination shit.
And so that you can't just like take our current rail lines and be like, oh, we got a faster train, go, because you would cause problems.
You would die. I really think their wheel system is different. I could be wrong.
It might be. I don't know.
I think it's different than ours. Could you imagine the, I don't know, the Newark train doing 200 miles an hour?
The Newark train?
Yeah.
No.
Not with those wheels.
Are there special wheels that are used in bullet trains compared to regular trains? AI.
Did you just talk? Did you just type it or talk it?
Talk it. Oh. Bullet trains utilize specially designed wheels that differ from those in regular trains, crucial for handling the extreme speeds and ensuring safety. The wheels are made of a higher quality steel alloy, increased strength, wear resistance. Like regular train wheels, bullet train wheels have a slightly conical shape, self-steering on straight tracks and curves. Flange, the lip on the inner side of the wheel acts as a safety guide to prevent derailment.
Boom. See, I know shit. That's what's up.
That's all she fucking wrote.
All right, so you did the bullet train. That's awesome.
Did the bullet train.
I always wanted to do one of those.
Shanghai and Beijing were cool. Very different. Beijing is the historical city with like, Forbidden City, Great Wall of China. There's a Palace Gardens, and there's Tiananmen Square, things like that.
Did you get to see any of those?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a much older city though. So as a result, it's kind of like not as much high rises and it's a little bit more spread out.
Okay.
Whereas Shanghai is like a financial kind of hub, which reminds me a lot more of like a Chicago kind of taller buildings, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more organized. Apparently it was this old city for years and years and years, lots of old buildings. But then in like the early 90s, they literally were like, we need to build more buildings and turn this into a financial district. They were like, I don't know, they just like created it. And so a lot of it's pretty new. And it's kind of like, as part of that too, there's like lots of logistics things included. So like all the traffic is really functional, but there's also a lot of monitoring. Because there's so much traffic, they don't let you honk. So there's a
What?
no honking ordinance in Shanghai. So like literally if you honk the horn, there's like sound monitors that will hear it, take a picture of your license plate and fine you.
Yo, shut up.
Like 50, $60 a honk. Yeah.
You know what's sad? If they had that in New York City, wouldn't fucking matter. And New York City would be the richest city in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they honk in Beijing. So it's just a Shanghai thing, I think. And there was huge like pollution issues in Shanghai early on too. And so like they have some incentive where if you buy an electric car, you pay like $15,000 less on your registration or something. And so like it ends up being way cheaper to have it. So like 60% of cars in Shanghai are electric. It's so like a totally different kind of different world.
Are they all the cars, are they boring looking? Because they're all
Kind
electric,
of.
right?
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, and it's like
They all
there's
Priuses?
a couple Chinese electric car companies that kind of make like all of them. And so it's pretty like generic, not super original,
Yeah.
just functional, but and they're cheaper. Like a car, the the Chinese yuan, it's also like not the strongest currency. So everything while we were there felt pretty cheap anyway. Like you go out to dinner and like meals were like half the cost of what you'd expect them to be, like in California. But even cars, like they were saying, like you can get like a brand new electric car for like $15,000, whereas like here, like even the cheapest are like 30 or something like that.
Yeah, so yeah.
Or more.
Yeah. So walking around, were you like, did it feel like, let's just say New York City, did it feel like, when you're walking around New York City during like the holiday time, and you're like, I want to kill everybody. There's so many people. Was it like 10 times that? Yeah. Was it that crowded?
No.
Okay.
No, it was, I think when they talk about a lot of cities in China being huge, so like for example, Beijing, 30 million people.
That's a lot of people.
New York City is like 10 million people.
Yeah.
The difference is not that it's higher congestion. These are just bigger cities. They just go on forever. Like one of the days I was like I'm going to go see this interesting, like one of the parks that overlooks the Forbidden City. I think it was Jingshang Park. And you like look on it on a map and it like in the grand scope of like how big Beijing is, you're like, oh, that doesn't seem that far. It was like an hour and 20 minutes on the train. Like it was like really far. And it was just one little blip. I think the cities are just enormous. Like imagine a city the size of like all of Bergen County. That's like what Beijing is.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Food was surprisingly good. And I say that only because we talked about it on the last podcast, how like of the Asian foods, Chinese food typically is my least favorite.
Yeah.
I think what I learned is that there's like the food that people eat at home or regularly. And then there's the food that's like maybe classic to certain regions of China. And that when you go out to like a dim sum place or somewhere fancy, they're like trying to replicate that. So like think of like, I don't know, an Italian food. Like on Christmas, you do the seven fishes and you have like the, the different kind of fish and the clams and the squid and the things that like not everybody likes, but those are like the classic thing that you do at certain special occasions. I think when I've ever gone to like a nicer place around here, they're doing the like fancy things, which some of them I really just didn't like. I'd eat it. I'd take a bite of something wrapped in some weird, slimy paper that had like some fish in it. And I was like, ugh. But outside of that,
still moving.
Yeah. But outside of that, when I would go to like just the regular restaurants with the locals and they would order some like chicken dish and it was like some kind of chicken thighs chopped up in some interesting sauce with some really good, steamed vegetables and chopped peanuts or something. And it was actually like really, really good. I mean, I ate some weird things while I was there, kind of like in the special occasions that they ordered some of the weird things, but that's not what is ordered normally. And so overall, it was actually much better than I anticipated it being.
What's some weird stuff you ate?
So
What'd you eat?
we went to Chinese barbecue one night, and they got duck tongue, which was interesting. It actually wasn't gross.
The tongue?
The tongue. Like a long and skinny duck tongue. Like,
okay.
and it was like marinated and grilled. Kind of tasted like a chicken wing, but like not very much meat. So it was kind of like not worth the effort. So it wasn't gross. It just like wasn't worth the effort. Because it's like there's like a kind of a like a I don't know, there's like a
Is that a bone?
I don't know if it's a bone or as much
Cartilage?
or if it's like cartilage or something, but you kind of have to like eat around something and you kind of, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had that. At the conference that I was at, one of the nights they had a cultural night dinner where they like had like traditional like dancers and things like that from like Chinese culture and music, and they served like a pretty traditional meal on like one of those lazy Susan things, which is pretty typical actually. It seems like almost every meal we went to was like family
over there.
style.
Aren't they called Lazy Lees? And canceled. All right.
Yes, that's actually exactly what they're called.
It completely threw you off.
Just derailed me completely. I needed extra hooks to hold on to the tracks.
See, this is why I could never travel internationally business wise. I would be fired so quick. I would land in Newark and they'd be like, yeah, by the way, you're fired, Adam.
Nice knowing you. I hope you had fun. Yeah.
All right, so they had the Lazy Susan.
So the Lazy Susan. And again, like there was like a beef dish that came with like lettuce or whatever. And there was, interesting chicken dish with mushrooms. All flavors that are like kind of reminiscent of when we think about like Americanized Chinese food, you can understand where it's coming from. There are dishes that resemble that in China. It's just like a complete bastardization of the
Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you were like, all right, I invented the hamburger and this is really good beef and a nice roll, and then you go to McDonald's. It's like still technically the same thing, but you kind of effed up every good part of it.
Yeah.
And so the same thing, like they have like really fresh ingredients and fresh vegetables, and they're stir frying something, and it's spicy in a nice way with Szechuan peppercorns or whatever. And then you come to America and it's just like battered and fried and thrown in some like really sweet sauce that's like sickening. So you can understand where it's coming from, but it's definitely like the junk food version of a lot of the dishes. But then we did like there was jellyfish, like shredded and pickled jellyfish was one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, again, like kind of like the duck tongue. Like I took a bite of it and it wasn't like gross in any way, but it was like weird and crunchy and like not super appetizing, weird texture. And I was like I don't want to throw up, but at the same time, like I don't want more.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest thing that we had, which I did not like, and I think this goes to the textural thing that we were talking about on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Is there was a dish that was braised fish maw, MAH, which is fish bladder. So like the thing that allows fish to like rise and sink in water, like it fills up with air.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Super like gummy.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Like
yeah.
Like you were kind of chewing on like a
balloon.
like a slightly dissolved piece of like corrugated cardboard. Like you couldn't quite chew through it, but it had gotten soft, and it was like holding on to the sauce in a weird amount of way. And after you gnaw on it for a while, it kind of gets slimy at the same time. Very unappetizing. For the viewers, if you've ever had fish bladder, please tell me if you enjoyed it or not.
Adam is making a face during all of these descriptions, just so you know.
So I tried it. That was very gross. Almost couldn't swallow it. And
then let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one more? You got another one?
So on that same plate, there was also beef tendon. So like big chunks of like tendons that are then also braised and like supposedly more tender than I guess normal, but like still like I feel like I was chewing a rubber band. Like I don't know how many bites it would have taken to get through it. It was very odd. It didn't seem like food.
Let me ask you this. So, okay, all these were like delicacies.
Right. These were the delicacies.
Right.
That they don't eat on a regular basis. So they were trying to like show off and it was the worst part of all the food
Were
I
you
had the
sitting
whole
there
time.
going like, "What's the point? Like, what's the point in this?" That's what I would be like. What's the point in can can I have some shrimp? I just need some shrimp. Okay, you got sweet and sour sauce. Like at least like when you're here, and I'm not knocking again, not knocking, not
But you
trying out
are.
all that stuff in a way. But like, I mean, if we do a delicacy here, there's like a little bit of a point to it. You know what I mean? Like some people think like duck or quail. Oh, they have quail tonight. Oh, it's a delicacy. Yeah, I'll have some of that. It's like, okay, you know, it's kind of like a chicken. You're eating a tongue of something. Like, you know, it's like it's monkey brains. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean,
even that makes sense.
it's a good
You were Indiana
question.
Jones, Dan. You were literally Indiana Jones from Temple of Doom.
Fun fact: Temple of Doom. We're gonna
Tangent
twist.
it.
So, was the first movie is Temple of Doom, and the second one? Oh shit! What's the order?
The actual order or the
Yeah,
release?
the release.
It's Temple. Holy crap! What's the next one?
Right? My brain.
I just brain farted hard. Temple of Doom. The Last Crusade is obviously the last one.
Raiders of the
Jesus.
Lost Ark.
Raiders.
So the
Thank
first
you,
one is
Raiders.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. The second one is Temple of Doom with Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones.
Wait, really?
And like they pull the heart out, and in that one is the one where he eats the snake.
Yep.
That's stuffed and the monkey brain. So that was Temple of Doom.
Yep.
So Temple of Doom
And the
came out.
cockroaches or whatever.
Yeah. So that one came out second. But in the very beginning of the movie, they have like, Berlin, 1935 or whatever, Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark. So Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right. That's right. Technically,
Yeah.
timeline.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Timeline. It's actually.
You didn't know that.
Yes,
You're
I
lying
did.
to me.
I swear to God. Yeah, because who was it? Was it Spielberg? He wanted to do Temple of Doom, but he was like, I don't think it's going to be a big enough hit. So they did Raiders first. And because Raiders was a big hit, then he did Temple of Doom and then did Last Crusade.
I mean, good call because Raiders is the better movie.
That's the same thing that happened with Star Wars. That's why it starts with episode 4.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas was
1
like,
through 3 are the weakest.
Yeah, he's like, I think
you don't care about 1 through 3 until you know what happened in 4 through 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did know that, Dan.
Fine. All
right, back to the trip.
So, I think it's kind of like, delicacies are not always like they're usually acquired tastes like caviar, truffles, even quail or game fish, duck. You cook a duck breast. It's a red meat. There's a lot of people that don't like it. So I think it's one of those things where
blowfish is a delicacy.
Blowfish
because of how dangerous it is and stuff. Yeah.
So I think when it comes to delicacies, sometimes people just like them because they're rare. And sometimes I think if you can get over one weird aspect of it, it can bring a completely different flavor that you can't get anywhere else. And like a good example for me is like foie gras. So like the fatty duck liver. It's a paste. It's pretty funky. I wouldn't take a bite of it like I would a burger. It would be sickening. But you take a little bit of it, you put it on a piece of, toasted baguette with a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of balsamic vinegar or something. Once you kind of dilute that flavor with some other flavors and take a bite, there is like a sweetness and a really interesting savoriness that comes from the liver that you can't recreate with any other food. And so to some, you'd be like, that's disgusting. But to one that's had it enough and figured out how they like it and in what ratios they like it, you might really enjoy it. So like, all I can think of is like, maybe if you grew up eating the tendon, you enjoy that chewiness. And part of the enjoyment is gnawing on it and it like releasing flavors as you do that. Or maybe that's a flavor that you can't get anywhere else. And right. I don't know. We
don't know. That's
not for me though. It's not for me.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Even that liver that you were just talking about.
Yeah. Well, and that
get me a nice cucumber. Yeah, I'll I'll
So
chomp on that all day.
the thing though is knowing that I don't like fish maw and tendon, but I do like duck liver, all of which sound disgusting, is why I always will try something at least once. Like I'll go into it and I'm like, that looks disgusting, but I got to give it a try because I might bite into it and be like, oh my gosh, I've never had a flavor like that in my whole life.
Right. Oh yeah.
Or I might want to throw up, but you're not going to know until you try it.
I'm the same.
If you offer me fish maw again, I'm going to be like, fuck that.
Yeah. You got to at least try it so you know.
At least I know. Yeah.
Like you love Rocky Mountain meatballs.
Oysters?
No, meatballs.
Meatballs?
Is it oysters?
The testicles?
Oysters. It's oysters. Yeah.
It's oysters. I've never had them. I've never had them.
I'm just kidding. Dan just
I would be willing to try them.
I mean, hot sauce on the side.
I don't know. I've seen them made. They basically like they're braised for like forever, and then they like flour them and deep fry them. So like maybe it's just like tender ball of meat. I don't know. You never know. I mean, I like regular oysters, and they're gross if you think about it. Oysters though, and I think a lot of these foods are very high risk, high reward. Like if you get a really good oyster from like a good place and they're shucked fresh and and they're pulled out of the ocean fresh, there's a sweetness and an interesting flavor to an oyster that is just unparalleled. You get a bad oyster though, and you want to vomit across the room like it's The Exorcist.
I saw a video a couple weeks ago and I sent it over to Libby's mom because they love going out for oysters and stuff, especially during like happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
And this video not only turned my stomach, but I will probably never do oysters again.
Why?
Because I can send you the video. There was this like worm thing that was like crawling. It looked like almost like a centipede, but it was like a parasite maybe. And then this woman was recording and she's like, oh my God, I gotta get the waiter over here. This is disgusting. And she's like, look, there's another one. And it was like coming out. And I was like, dear God, no.
So I have two thoughts on this. One, there's more parasites in seafood than you realize. A lot of wild caught fish has parasites. You just don't know it because once it's cooked, you can't tell the difference. And two, there's a lot of people on the internet that like bring parasites or do something to get likes. It's entirely possible it's fake.
Come on. Dan, you're telling me the internet's fake? Come on. No, really. You think a lot of people are doing that? I don't know. I can send you the video. It was disgusting. I can show you the video right here.
It could. I mean, it could be real. But at the same time, like
it's not going to stop you. I'm
no.
stopped.
Well, and it's the high risk, high reward. Like, are you going to go to Dollar Oyster Night at the random bar in Minnesota, 3,000 miles from the ocean? Probably not. Maybe that's a bad choice.
You telling me dollar oysters at the strip club down the street is a bad idea?
I think so, yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Just like a gas station sushi? What are you talking about?
Yeah. You have to choose your battles.
I can't find it. It'll take too long. It was disgusting. If I find it again, I'll send it to you. It's probably fake. Like maybe you're right.
Or it could be real, but it was probably some shitty place and it's like a total random.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You know what I can't trust? Speaking of the internet, Dan, you can't trust anything on the internet. I saw a video a couple weeks ago of a penguin, a baby penguin, and it was like sitting there. And it like took like a piece of food out of the caretaker's hand. And I was like, oh my God, you're adorable. So I sent it to Libby and Sammy. And Sammy writes back. She goes, Adam, this is adorable, but I think it's AI. And I was like, what do you mean it's AI? She's like, look at the comments. So I went to the comments. Dude, it was fucking AI. Last night.
That's the problem these days. You can't tell the difference.
Last night, I'm sitting on the couch with Libby after we watch her show. And I'm like scrolling through. And there was a flower and these two hummingbirds sitting in it, right? While it was raining. And it was like, can't believe the photographer got this. And I was like, oh my God, this is really cute, babe. Look at this. And she was like, oh my God, that's cute. I think it's AI. And I was like, what do you mean? And I go to the comments. It's hashtagged AI. And I was like, are you fucking, I'm fucked. I'm just fucked. I'm so fucked. The T1000 is going to come down the street. I'm going to be like, hey buddy, you want a beer? And I'm dead.
Maybe they run on beer.
Maybe they do. They're like, good. You gonna go get a beer? Is that what you need?
I'm gonna go get a beer.
All right, pause time. Hey everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. We appreciate, you still, watching and chiming in and stuff. I have had some audio issues that we hope we fixed during this. I got myself some new headphones from Amazon, and I got myself a webcam right there because they were doing the spring Amazon sales. So hopefully, not only do I look better, but I sound better too. Because before I was using my gaming headphones that also has a mic attached, so we didn't know if that was causing a problem. So I got some new stuff, and Dan's back. Hey, Dan.
Hello.
I was telling everybody how I got a webcam and headphones and stuff. I think the camera's nice, man.
You're not green.
I'm not fucking green. Yeah. Well, see, when I bought this laptop, a little side tangent. When I bought this laptop, I was going after a gaming laptop, right? Because I need to do graphic design and stuff. So I was telling the guy, I was like, I want it because of the graphics card. And the guy was like, well, he's like, you don't need a gaming laptop to do that. And I was like, what do you mean? They have the best graphic cards. And the guy's like, well, yeah, they do, but you're also spending out your ass for all like the perks and whistles and like the lights that, the keyboard lights up. He's like, if you're not into that stuff, he's like, go with this HP. It's got an awesome graphics card and it can handle a Photoshop and all that stuff. He's like, the webcam, it's not that great. He's like, but you always get a secondary webcam. And I was like, well, I'll never need a webcam. That's fine. Fast forward 5 years.
Podcast Adam.
Podcast. But yeah, so I didn't care. I wasn't using it for meetings or anything like that. So yeah, all right. I got myself. What are you drinking?
Champagne of beers.
Miller.
Mm-hmm. High Life.
How are we ever going to get sponsored, Dan?
You don't think Miller High Life would sponsor us?
You know what? Yeah,
I fucking love this shit.
They probably will.
I unironically love this.
Why?
Why?
This is better than the Beast.
Yeah, I mean it's a good regular drinking beer. It's not special. It doesn't weigh you down. I feel like I could have a couple and my stomach doesn't hurt.
Well, that's true. Oh yeah, dude, you were like dying the next day after the last podcast.
Yes, for those that are listening and had watched our last episode,
and if you didn't, please go watch the previous.
Please go watch it. Yeah, drinking like 3 Guinnesses and then doing 2 car bombs or Dublin double fisters.
Dublin double fisters. That's right. Yeah.
In like an hour and a half. Man, it mess up my stomach.
You did one with Lauren when she got home.
Oh yeah, then I did a third with Lauren when she got home. And like the next morning, I was just like, nothing like major going on. Like there wasn't evacuation in either direction, but it was just like rumble gut. Like I felt like distended and rumbly and just twisting in my stomach. And I don't know, I think it was the Bailey's fermenting with the Jameson and then the Guinness and
Well, it's funny too because you texted me and you're like, "How's your stomach?" And I'm like, "My stomach's fine. My head feels funny." But like we stopped drinking at like 5:30.
Yeah.
So I was sober. I'm pretty sure I was sober by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
PM. So I'm like, why does my head feel like I feel like I'm kind of hungover, but I'm not. But remember looking at it, the glasses, like the Bailey's was curling when it sat there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like if within 10 minutes, if it's curling in the glass, what is that doing in our stomach?
Curling?
It was curdling. It was
curdling. Is that what you were saying?
I was trying to say curdling, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
curdling.
But my stupidity took over. Thanks, Dan. Maybe it was
let
curling.
That slide.
It might be curling, it might like the sport. Yeah, I mean, like if it's
curdling, what's it doing in your stomach at that point?
Right. If it's curdling in the glass, I mean, within 25 minutes, is it curdling? Is it turning like sour?
Probably.
That's why it's a Dublin double fister, man.
It is a 1-2 punch.
Fuck you twice. All right, Dan's back with the beer.
So
what else is going on with China?
So I got to go to the Great Wall of China.
You did?
I did. We were pretty busy, but on Monday after we went to see a customer, we had all afternoon and we drove up. Really cool. Like I don't know what I expected. I guess I didn't do enough research before I went, but it exceeded my expectations. Like I kind of just like, I don't know, it's 2,000 miles long or whatever. I just figured it was like a barrier, right? Wall. I didn't fully appreciate that it's basically a castle it's just like long and skinny instead of square.
Mm.
Like it's 25, 30 feet tall. The walls are like 5 feet thick. But then up top, it's like pretty wide. Like you could drive a car down it if you
Hmm.
could get a car up there. And then all the areas, like every, I don't know, few hundred feet, there's like a tower. And in the tower is like rooms and windows and like strategic places to like shoot an arrow from. And it's wide. Like the towers are like 25 feet by 25 feet. Like they're houses basically. And then there's a top area and like people could theoretically live in them. So like it was way more involved than I thought it was. Like given that like, and I guess that explains why it took like hundreds and hundreds of years to build. Because basically they were building full on freaking castles along the ridge of this mountain that
And
separated
what
like.
was a little history? What was it for?
So I guess at the time there was like the main area of China was south, and like the Mongol Empire was in the north, and so it like separated the Mongolians from the Chinese. Like as you're driving towards it, you can see like this mountain starting to form, and right
Mm.
at the peak is where the wall is. So you can kind of like you look down upon the valleys on either side from the wall, which as a result though means that the wall actually like moves up and down with the terrain of that peak as well. And
Right.
so there's some areas that are like super steep and have like steps, and then other areas that are like long and like maybe have like a rise, and so there's like mini steps, like maybe they're like half-inch tall, like kind of almost more like treads.
Hmm.
And then there's parts that are totally flat and it's just bricks.
Yeah. Or it's flat and it's kind of
Yeah,
like weavy,
yeah.
YB,
So it
windy.
was really, really cool. Definitely, like if you ever have the opportunity, it's worth the day trip to go out.
Do you, after seeing that, do you understand why Trump wants that between Mexico and the United States? Like, did it click for you? You're like, I get it now.
No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, in 600 years ago, when like the pinnacle of modern, warfare was a bow and arrow. Yeah, I could see it being effective, but you know, nowadays you could get an angle grinder and grind through the wall. Like it seems like it's less useful today.
That's funny. That's cool. That's like one thing I've always wanted to like check out. Was the
Yeah, it was
Great
cool,
Wall.
and it was one of those
Some
things
people
like
hike it, right?
yeah, you
Isn't
can.
there
I
like
mean, we only walked like I don't know, like 1,000 feet of it or something, like because it's pretty grueling. And as soon as you go, as far as you go out, you got to come back too. But like,
oh
there's some people that will go all day and walk a lot of it. But and there's a couple different parts that you can visit. It's hard to get to too, and so like down in like the city that's below it, like the hike up to the wall is like a 3 hour hike, or they have like a gondola that'll take you up in 5 minutes, kind of thing.
really? There's a gondola?
Mm-hmm.
It's boring. God, dude, old school.
Yeah, but it's like 3 hours up, 3 hours back. That's your whole day.
Let's see. Is there a hike for the Great Wall of China? Yes, you can hike along sections of the Great Wall of China. Many people do, often unique and challenging experience. These are a lot of big words I can't say. A lot of consonants. I was just seeing if there was like, hey, there's Dan. Look, there he is. Look at him.
That's a woman, Adam.
That's a woman. Let's see. Is it possible to hike the Great Wall of China? Yes, it is possible. However, it takes years to cover the 13,000 plus miles of the entire wall. It took Stephen Robert Loken of Norway, age 42, 601 days to hike the entire Ming Dynasty.
15,000 miles. I was way off. I thought it was like 2,000 miles.
13,000 miles to walk the whole 601 days? That's how
Like
big this fucking thing is?
Yeah, dude. In some of the background information they were talking about it. So like the section we were on was built.
Well, no, you're not wrong. It spans 3,728 miles. What?
What do you take the long route?
Wait a second. Hold on.
Like as the bird
Hold on.
flies,
Okay,
and then
let's try this again. However, it takes years to cover the 13,000 plus miles of the entire wall. It took this guy from Norway. 601 days to hike the entire Ming Dynasty, and then they give the dates Ming Dynasty from 1368 to 1644.
Okay.
Great Wall, which
Which is
spans
2,000
300.
miles. 3,000 miles.
So the Great Wall.
So this is what I learned too, and I didn't know this. So the wall that we were on was built in like 1400, so like 600 years ago ish. But there was some aspect of a wall that was being built as early as like 2000 BC or something. So like they had like they'd been building walls to some extent for thousands of years, and some of them are older. And I think the ones that we know are the ones that were built most recently, between like 600 and 800 years ago.
Wow.
And
It was
I
like
think
a
those are the ones that
construction
are,
project that just never like was ever going to end. They're like,
yeah.
my grandfather was working on this. Man, are we done yet? They're like, no, we got another 3,000 miles.
Yeah. So I think to some extent, depending on who they were fighting with, they had walls for a long time.
Yeah.
But then during the Ming Dynasty, that's like the wall we all know because it was built better. It was built out of brick as opposed to just random stones. And so it's the one that's preserved the best,
okay.
and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. Anything else from the land of the rising sun?
Is that China?
That's Japan.
Rising.
Fuck, is that Japan?
I think maybe it's like Vietnam.
No, it's China. No, it's
The
Japan.
land of the rising sun is a popular nickname for Japan.
Son of a bitch. That's what. Yeah, that's right. Because they have the sun on the flag.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So
I
mean, it
I
was
try.
an interesting experience.
Would you go back
I mean,
if it was for work and they paid for it again? Yeah.
yeah. It was definitely fun, and I was glad I went. With that said, though, like, there's other places I want to see too.
Yeah. That's what we were saying last time. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you came back. I'm glad your visa didn't expire while you were out there, or they let you in. Were you right? So you went to the airport and they had to check your visa before you got on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But otherwise, it was pretty straightforward. I mean, there was no issue in customs or anything.
Your
but
plane
I also
looked
had
pretty sweet. I mean, your seat, was that comfy?
Yeah. Oh, I sent you a picture.
Yeah. My psychic then. I was there. You didn't see me. Was it just you? Was it just you and your pod, or was it a pod and a pod? And then was it 2x2?
So on United, which is the one that I fly most commonly, the business class seats are individual pods. So it's like if you look at the width of the plane, it's one on the left, then an aisle, then two, but they're separated in the center, so you can't really see each other, and then the aisle, and then one. And
holy shit, that's a big plane.
Yeah, I mean these are the planes in the regular economy class. This is a plane that would be 3 seats, the aisle 4 seats, the aisle 3 seats. So it's 10 across. And so instead of 10 across, it's 4 across in the business class. Yeah.
Right.
It's
each
pretty
pod in the center has its exit out to each row.
Yeah, so you don't have to crawl over someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty roomy. I had 2 windows in my space.
Whoa.
So it's
getting so fancy.
Anywho.
What did you do?
I don't know, I watched a movie and then I slept.
Did you watch a movie? Did you?
No.
Dave was like, gonna close the curtain. I'm sleeping, everybody. I'm sleeping. That's about right. It's about an hour into the podcast. Adam Tink said,
"Oh, we may have to cut that. I don't know.
Leave it. Fucking leave it. It's fine." So the seats were nice. That's good.
There's plenty of room for activities. Yeah. So anyway, it was a nice. I mean, for a 13-hour, 14-hour flight, not having the space is a fortunate perk of my job. Is they do pay for the nicer seats.
And a flight like that, so you had business class. Is the whole plane like that? Or is business class like that, and then everybody else is in like regular, United 14 hours? Really?
Yeah.
I thought the whole plane was something like that.
So on a plane that goes from like here to China, there's 3 classes or 4 classes. So there's business class, which is like that, and there's usually about like 48 seats. So like the front, maybe third of the plane is like that. or
Okay.
quarter of the plane. And then there's a middle class that's called like Premium Plus or something.
Can I show the picture of your seat?
Sure.
If anybody wants to see. So this is there you go. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's Dan's seat. That's his pod.
It's my little
That's
pod.
what we keep referring to.
The pod.
Okay. All
The
right.
pod.
So that was business, and then what's the next one?
So then there's like a Premium Plus, which is kind of like just bigger, wider seats that recline a little bit more, just more comfortable, but not like a yourself. You're not your own pod. You're still just sitting right next to someone.
Oh, okay.
And then behind that is just regular economy, and there's Economy Plus, which so it's the same width, the normal width seat, with a little bit of space, more space for your knees, so maybe like a foot and a half between the seats. And then regular economy is like the tight economy, and so it's probably like regular economy is like a quarter of the plane, then like another quarter ish for the Economy Plus, so then about half the plane maybe is the combination of the business and that middle level.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anybody getting economy is like they're like, we get it. You need to get out of the country. It's fine. You're running. Just get back there.
Yeah. It's, I mean, and the prices are much different. I mean, if you look at the price of an economy ticket compared to a business class, the business class is usually like 3 times the price.
Yeah, because you get everything. I mean,
Yeah.
you get the meals, all of it, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Champagne.
if you think about the seat, you're using up like 3 times the space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Could you? So you did the flight, right? I think the longest flight I've ever been on is either Barbados or Jamaica. How long was Jamaica? 6? No, 6.
something like that. Yeah.
So I think the longest I've ever
It's
been
pretty
on
far
was
down there.
8, and that was regular. So could you imagine doing that flight being in economy? Or do you
I
think you
mean,
wouldn't be able to move at the end of the flight and you're like, someone's help? My legs are numb.
you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
I ain't got no legs. Like, could you imagine like doing that
So
flight?
I think it would be all right. I mean, honestly, like even in economy, you still get a meal, you get wine and beer. You know, it reclines an okay amount. I mean, it's not as small of a plane as like what you're used to going from, you know, like New Jersey to Florida. But it depends what you're going for. So like if you're going for like vacation and when you get there, it doesn't matter if you're like a little bit tired because you're just gonna like go sightseeing or you know, you could take a nap. When you go for work, I mean, I landed at, you know, 6:30 p.m. I didn't get to my hotel till 8:30, slept a little bit, and the next morning I had to be ready to go, like firing on all cylinders at work. And I think that's why my job pays for it, is because, you know, you get there and you're much more refreshed and
Oh yeah.
capable of functioning. And so yeah, I think it would be okay, but you would just be less functional for the first couple of days if you didn't have a little bit more space to rest and hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I was just curious. Because like for me, like, you know, I have every once in a while I have like back problems. So like to be like, oh, I'm doing 13 hours in a regular
Yeah.
seat.
It,
It'd
I
be
mean,
like,
it's not ideal. So like when Lauren came out to visit me when I was in Munich, so this was the whole Taylor Swift episode. When on her way out, she was in regular economy, 12 hours from West Coast to Munich. And then on the way back, she got upgraded and sat with me in the business class. And after that trip, she was like, "Oh, I could get used to this."
ooh, I get it. Dan, put that away.
The necessity, no. Is it really nice? Yes. That's the
Well,
take home.
yeah. If I could afford it, I'll do it. I'll take business class down to Florida if I needed to. We had coming back from Florida. One of the times that we were cleaning out her father's house, we ended up getting the what are they called? The emergency seats, where like if there's an emergency,
Exit row?
No, it was like they have like a row of seats. I think on each side of the plane, where if there's an issue, like there's a medical emergency in air, you have to give your seat up because like these like fully recline and there's like
Oh,
extra space in the front. Yeah, I didn't know about it, but we got it. And we're like, oh my god! Like we were able to like stretch our leg out, and we're like, oh, this is really nice. How come nobody else has this? And then we ended up realizing, like, oh, if there's an emergency, we have to give her seat up because they have to.
but you're standing the rest of the flight.
Yeah. So like that flight, me and Libby were like, oh, we're fucking kings. Oh, what's wrong, everybody? So yeah, no. I mean, if you could do business class, why fucking not? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, and so like, and think of it this way too. Like, I got back on on Tuesday. I'm home for this is my 5th day. Tuesday morning, I fly again to Europe, and then another
Jesus
12-hour
Christ.
flight. So it's it can get tiring.
Hell yeah.
So
Awesome, man.
Vienna,
That's where you go next?
yeah. So the land of the schnitzel.
Mr. Traveler over here.
I don't actually travel this much. I have 3 trips or 4 trips this whole year. It just so
Mm-hmm.
happens that these 2 are back to back.
Mm-hmm. Which is exhausting.
Mhm.
And what's this one for? So the last one was for, what was it for? Dog AIDS?
No, the last one was for hepatitis
Hepatitis, that's right.
and HIV, and this one is more generic, but somewhat on respiratory viruses.
More COVID?
A little bit of COVID, influenza,
Yo,
other
let me
stuff.
tell you, talking about COVID,
Hmm.
Libby got her shot because she wanted to get the shot before going back to work.
Hmm.
She also wanted to get the shot because she read up that like if mothers that are breastfeeding get the shot, it like transfers into the baby
Hmm.
through the breast milk, which also kind of protects them like a little bit. You know, it's not like actually getting the shot. So she got it, dude. She got her ass handed to her.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know. This one did the same thing to me.
Yeah, I was telling her that, and I was fine with the one I got. Like I got the flu shot and the COVID shot in the same day, and that kind of like I think getting both of them, my body was like, dude, what the hell's going on? Like, what's? But yeah, dude, it was like, and she also didn't have one for almost over a year because she got it. She got it like October or November of 2020. She didn't get anything for 2024 because she was pregnant, and now we're in 2025. Yeah, so it's been like over a year, and dude, it was bad. She was
Yeah,
bad.
I don't know what the deal was with this most recent one, but same for me. I don't think I recall being having really much of a reaction to any of them, and this most recent one really whipped my ass. I mean, it was a newer strain, so it was an updated one. So maybe for whatever reason.
Okay, but you had like fever and
Mm-hmm.
all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she was usually like with her, it's like she gets hit hard, but if she got it at like 6 p.m. on Tuesday, she knows by like 5:30, 6 p.m. all of a sudden she's like, oh, okay, I'm good. This lasted like an extra like 5 hours, and she was
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't believe I. And then after that, it was like 3, 4, maybe 5 days of just she was like, I can't snap out of like this brain fog. I can't like I don't feel like myself. I don't know what the hell this shot did to me this time. And I was like, the only thing I could think about was like, it's probably because it's been over a year since you've had the booster, like
Maybe.
any kind of booster for that. I don't know. You would know better than I.
I mean, it sucks for her, but these things happen. I don't think it's you know.
No, it's just crazy. She's always into it's. It sucks. After like the second or third one, she was like, "This sucks." Like I think she talked to you about it. She's like, "Do I have to anticipate that I'm going to feel like crap like every time I get this shot now?" And you're like, "Yeah." I mean, if your body reacted like the last 3 times, then yeah, you probably will.
I mean,
But
it's
like
better than
this one,
getting COVID.
oh yeah, and she knows that. Yeah. Ironically, Marlo got COVID, and Dan, you're gonna lose your shit. You're gonna lose your shit. So Marlo was supposed to come over in February, right, with the girls to see
Mm-hmm.
Cal, and she ended up getting COVID. She's like, "Adam, I got COVID." I was like, "All right, well, like take care of yourself." Blah blah blah. Again, she got her ass handed to her, and she's like, "I got it so bad." She was texting me. She's like, "I have it so bad that it feels like the first time I've ever gotten it." I said, "Well, have you gotten your boosters?" She goes, "What do you mean?" I go,
Uh,
I go, "Well, Molly, you're supposed to get a booster now every year." And she goes, "What do you mean? I haven't gotten anything since like the first round of boosters." And I'm like, "Marlo, no, it's like the flu shot now. You get one every year." And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I'm like, "Where the hell have you been? Do you watch the news at all? What's wrong with you?" So she got her ass handed to her by the actual
yeah.
fucking sickness, and I was just like, and she got scared this time because it lingered for a long. She lost her taste again, and I was like, how do you not know? How do you not know?
She doesn't have a Dan. She doesn't have a Dan.
She doesn't have a name, but she has an Adam, that filters Dan's information. It's jumbled.
It's like playing
But,
telephone.
it's there. It's there. All right. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're not, strung up somewhere in a tree. Makes me nervous. Makes me nervous.
I know. I mean,
It was
a great country. People we met seemed very happy. There was kind of an undertone of surveillance. Is there a child coming?
Dan, can you want to get Lauren? Having a special guest.
What a cutie pie.
He is. He's a ham, just like his father.
He's like looking into the camera now. Like it's like different than like when we saw him in December or wherever we were there. He was like,
love you.
He was like just like it's existing.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's like interacting.
Oh yeah. He's reaching, like he's really reaching for stuff now. He's like, he'll like take his like, it's called a whoopee, an animal like plush kind of thing, and he'll like reach for it, and then he'll like and like go to town on it. We think he's starting to like teeth, or like the prequel of teething, because he's like crazy. He's like chewing on stuff. No matter any chance he gets, he's like chewing on his fingers. He starts choking himself. We're like, dude, relax.
So he's turning into a gremlin.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. A wild animal. So Libby's uncle, who's down in Carolina, something like that, he bought us an iPad because neither of us have iPhones. We have Androids. That's right, everybody. We have Androids. Boo. Yeah, we don't buy into the hype. We want to be the green bubble in your chat.
Ruining group chats since 2006.
So he bought us an iPad so that we can like video chat with him and stuff like that. So her mom, who has an iPhone also, loves it because like whenever she's not here, she's like, Libby be like, do you want to like video chat? And she's like, oh my God, yeah. And he's like, as soon as it pops up, man, he's like right there, like looking into the camera, like, oh, hey. It's crazy. It's crazy how quickly, even to the point where like I'm feeding him, right? And he's now zoning out because he's on the verge of like passing out. And I'm like, okay, you're zony. And I'll like go on my phone for a second. I'll look over and he's like,
what you doing?
And I'm like, you dude, what the fuck? Like, stop. Like that.
He wants to get online.
Yeah. It's mainly because I'm watching like car videos and stuff. And he's like, ooh, what's that? That's a guy peeling out. You're not doing that until you're 18. That's what that is. Sorry about that. Libby just wanted to pop in.
No, sorry, my ass. No, that was good. When we do the spouse episode, we'll have to have a Calvin update.
Yeah.
So like in the next month or so, maybe we could do a spouse episode.
Sure. Yeah.
At this point, the subscribers, all 5 of them, have, they've learned the way of you and I. And now we can start peppering in the women that somehow love us.
Oh, yes. Maybe we gain some more traction. Everybody loves, the female content they just sound better than we do.
I mean, we're a bunch of idiots.
Have you looked at the comments under the last video?
Yes. We've got some pretty good ones.
That's just
21 views. We have one thumbs up. And then
1 thumbs up.
Yeah. Come on, guys. We have 9 subscribers in total.
Thank you, everybody. We love you.
And we got 4 comments on the last video.
Yeah.
One was in reference to Skeet.
From the window to the wall.
To the wall. And then we had some comments about the Irish trivia and how, in fact, even subscriber number 5 from Ireland, or with Irish background, did not know the answers any better than we did.
Yeah. I talked to subscriber number 5 about how I kept calling him out during the podcast. And he was like, yeah, but Adam, I don't even speak Irish. I was like, I know, but we're both actors and I suck right now because I haven't done it in a while. I was like, and I knew as soon as I started doing it, you would start laughing. He's like, oh yeah, I was dying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, let me say this. On my side, I don't have much.
Yeah.
Not much that's been going on. Cal's doing great. I got the car back. Remember, I had to take the car
The
in.
brakes.
The brakes. Yeah. That altogether was like $2,200.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was a hefty bill. And on top of it, they attempted.
Was it just the brakes or was there other shit too?
No, so the e-brake light was going on, which I told them, I was like, I think because this happened over the summer, I think the release button, the release for the actual cable of the e-brake was seizing up, because that's what happened over the summer. And when I brought it in, they just hit it with a like white lithium to loosen it up. I think the same thing was kind of happening. The caliper was the one that was leaking. Okay. So that's why there was brake fluid. So they're like, you got to replace the calipers. And I'm like, fine. I'm like, how are the brakes? And they're like, obviously we put new drum brakes on the back. Fronts are fine. I was like, great. I had headlights because my one headlight burnt out. And before my last job, I was able to get headlights for the car before I left because I was going to switch it out. So they put those in for me because me and Andrew were going to do it. But then I was like, dude, I don't know when I'm going to have time to do this. Like, and God forbid if we run into a snag, like you always assume it's going to be like, give me an hour to work on this car. And the next thing you know, it's like, yeah, the car's like half up on a jack and you're 3 bottles into jack. And so they did that, and typical maintenance, which is oil change, all that stuff. But, I went to the dealership. Yeah. Like 20 something hundred, 20, 21, $2,200. And then on top of it, this is the best part. The guy calls me, he goes, hey Adam, so your engine mounts, they need to be changed. And I was like, what? Now, remind you, this is a 2014, but
it's not an old car.
No, it's a 2014. The car's got less than 80,000 miles. It's like 79, okay?
Fuck off.
Which is way low for a 2014, okay? And I was like, what do you mean the engine mounts need to be changed? He goes, well, I don't know if you noticed, but when the engine's running, it's shaking. The engine's shaking. I was like, no, I haven't noticed that. He goes, well, yeah, they're pretty like worn out and stuff. So, I would suggest you like change it. And I was like, okay, well, how much is that? Now, on top of the bill that he already started quoting me for, which was like $2,000. He's
like
well,
another $2,000 probably.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah. And I just blew the mic out because I was upset. Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, it's like 20, 24. And I was like, whoa, you telling me it's going to cost almost $6,000 to fix this car? And he was like, well, I was like, let me ask you. Go ask the tech.
How much is the car worth?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, go ask the tech. Ask him if there's going to be any damage if I don't get this done right now. I was like, look, I don't want the engine rattling where it's like, loosening shit up. But like, does it really need to be done right now? And he goes, okay, let me go find out. I'll call you right back. Calls me back. He goes, yeah, the tech said that you don't have to like do it right now. And I want to be like, no shit, jack off. I'm not changing my engine mounts. Let alone, what I'll do is most likely I'll get under the car and tighten it up myself and be like, I'm good for another 10,000 miles. Like, Dan's Googling it.
I'm Googling. So maybe subscribers 1 through 9. It says engine mounts on a Dodge Dart, like most vehicles, last typically between 5 and 7 years, but can vary depending on driving conditions. I have never changed an engine mount on a car I've owned.
Exactly.
Who the fuck? 5 to 7 years?
Exactly, dude. Is fucking tell me the probe, the 92 probe.
What? Who?
I never changed that.
Am I just severely ruining every car I own?
Yes, you are.
Or is this complete bullshit? We need to hear in the comments.
Well, I'll tell you what. Subscriber 1 will probably comment and say, yeah, because I called him and I told him about it. Because he works at a dealership. He works in parts. He goes, no, he's like, it's possible if they can dry rot, and it could cause issues if it's shaking a lot. But he's like, but for your car, I don't think it can't be that bad. It's not, Dan. I started the car when I got home. Okay, boom. And it's like, gives you a little shake. You're like, oh my God, it's got some balls to it. That's what it feels like. And then I popped the hood. The engine's pin straight. I could put champagne on it and nothing will happen. Okay. I'm like, I don't need fucking engine mounts, dude. It's one of those, like, how dealerships do these like pre-preventative
Mm-hmm.
work. That's what it felt like. It was like they probably saw that one of the engine mounts slightly has a little dry rock crack, and they're like, "Gotta change the whole thing. You gotta switch the engine. We
You
gotta
new
pull the
engine, new
yeah,
engine.
need the engine. You know what? And your tires were just because the engine and the tires because of the weight. You need new tires. Yeah. So that was fun. Swiping the credit card for that one.
See if they were ripping you off. Placing engine mounts typically costs between $400 and $600 per mount.
And there's
4,
3 mounts
3.
in that. I think there's 3 mounts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think so. 6 times 3, 1,800 plus
Yeah.
tax and labor, and yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
And they're asking for the firstborn child. That's what they want. It's a payment.
Well, I don't think I've ever changed my engine mounts unless it just happened at some point in maintenance and I wasn't unaware.
No, it's typical. It's typical dealership. Do you go to dealership for the Beamer?
No,
No, exactly.
no, I have a German car shop in town.
Yeah, any John's garage is not going to tell you to change the engine mounts.
Well,
You want,
I still want to
because
hear
he's
comments
got 15 cars line up for like an oil change. He's not going to sit there and be like, "Yeah, I need 4 days to work on your engine." He's going to be
though.
like,
I'm
"You're
curious
fine."
though because the internet suggests that it's 5 to 7 years, and I mean my car is a 2011. I haven't changed the engine mounts.
When you start the car, is it like a hard start where it feels like it's like, "Oh, it's really cold out today"?
I don't know. No, it sounds fine.
Go do it right now. Take the camera. Let's go.
I never noticed,
So,
but I don't know.
yeah, that was that. And then I got. Did I tell you I was getting a couch for the basement?
No.
Okay. So right now I got the futon. Remember the futon
Futon.
in the basement that folds out the futon and right?
Mhm.
Dina's futon. So I have that right now. So I found a couch on Amazon.
Is that the same futon you had in your bedroom when you lived in Westwood?
Yep.
Damn, that thing's been around.
Yep.
That was like 10 years. 10? That was
I've
college.
I've had this thing for 25 years and it's Dina's, by the way. And she still doesn't want it back.
I can't imagine why.
So I was shut up.
It's a piece of shit.
No, it's not. It's beautiful. It's in great shape. Salem's laying on it right now. Right, Salem? He loves it.
Your old ass, though, you could never sleep in it. It would give you back problems.
Me, no, you bury me in it. That's the end of that one. So I was on Amazon. Just happened to look around because I was like trying to find like smaller couches, right? Because I didn't want to go to Bob's. I didn't want to go to like, Bassett or any of those big places because, you got to drop like $2,000 on a couch. So I was on Amazon, found a couch, like a smaller couch. It's a love seat, but then you have on top of it a chase. So you got the love seat and then a chase. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, and I measured it out. It's going to fit great. It's going to fit great. And I was like, holy shit, I think I might get this. So I talked to Libby. And I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about getting this for the basement, upgrade the basement a little bit so it actually feels like a little bit more like adult as opposed to like a futon in like a college dorm room. And she was like, yeah, I mean, if you think it'll fit and you really want to get it. So it's normally like it was like $399. It was on sale for like $305, but then there was $100 shipping, but then I had $100 in gift cards. So kind of all balanced. It would have been $500, but then with the $100 gift card, it was like $400. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Order it. I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm like, where the hell is this couch? So I go online and I see that it's out of stock after I order it. I was like, all right, well, but we got the confirmation email and stuff. So it must have, because they were doing the sale, makes sense. They probably ran out of stock. 2 days later, after that, Libby gets an email. We're really sorry. We had a miscount in the warehouse. We refunded your money.
No couch for you.
Yeah, basically. But they were like, but Amazon kept saying like, we refunded your money, but it might still show up. And we were like, so wait, so are we getting a free couch because it's not coming on the date that it was supposed to? What the hell's going on? So I wait like a whole month until like they said it was going to be back in stock 29th of March. So I wait. It comes back in stock. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get an update. Nothing. And I'm like, maybe he'll just show up randomly. Nothing. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I reach out to Amazon, to the seller. The seller was like, we don't know what. Oh, that was the other thing. The shipping information said that it was still on its way. That's what was the confusing part. So it was
So
still
like
on
it said it shipped.
Yeah, it said it shipped. It was
Okay.
sitting in California, your fucking state. It was sitting there, and that's it for like a month. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. So I reached out to the company through Amazon. They get back to us and they're like, yeah, we don't know what happened to your package. It might have got lost with UPS. This is a couch. This is a couch.
Hey, lose
Dan.
a couch.
It's not a blender. It's a fucking couch. Okay. And so they're like,
it got stoled.
That's what it sounds like, right? But they're like, look at your bank statements. You know, we refunded you the money. So I look through just to make sure. Yeah, you see the charge, you see the refund. I'm like, okay, where's the gift card? The gift card's right there. So I say to Libby, it's back on sale. It's back in stock. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna reorder it.
Don't tell me
She's
you
like,
got two.
No. Oh my god, at least I don't think so. So reorder it. So it was supposed to come on the 3rd. And then the 3rd came and it was like, oh, it's going to come the 4th. And I was like, uh-huh. And then I'm looking at the tracking and it shows like, it showed up to the warehouse. It left the warehouse. It showed up to the warehouse. It left the warehouse. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is going on with this fucking package? And then it got pushed and it was like, it's supposed to be here the 5th. And I'm like, what is happening with this fucking thing? So then UPS shows up. And it's the couch. And I'm like, oh, finally. Awesome. And I see box 1 of 3. I see box 3 of 3. But I don't see box 2 of 3. And I'm like, hey, buddy, where's the 3rd box? He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, where's the 3rd box? I see 1 of 3 and I see 3 of 3. This should be a 2 of 3. He goes, oh, yeah. I don't have it on the truck. And I'm like, so where is it? He's like, well, you know, there was a lot of problems with like the tornadoes and stuff in the Midwest. So it's probably like on a different shipment. So it might come like Monday. And I'm like, can you look at the tracking? He's like, no, I'm not able to do that. So I got a half a couch in boxes sitting upstairs.
2/3 of a couch. 2/3.
Yeah. Yeah. 2/3 of a couch sitting upstairs. And I'm like, I just want a fucking couch, man. Like, I just want to replace this thing. Is this the universe telling me not to do it?
So that's what I've been doing with the past of the You're ungrateful for the free couch that you had been given 25 years ago, tossing it aside for something newer and younger.
Let me tell you something, Dan. If you and I were down here playing video games,
I'd be
we're
happy.
So close that I could feel your pulse. Okay? That's how close you are on that couch. You're like, you want to play video games? Okay, you take one side of the controller. I'll take the other one, okay? You know, I'm an adult now, okay? I'm almost 41.
Big boy couch.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And, dude, not only is it a chase, but it also, like, the center folds out. So it turns into, like, this full kind of, like, bed system. And it's got storage for $300. What? Seems too good to be true. Probably fucking is.
We'll have to have a reveal on camera.
Yeah, I will. If I ever get that last third.
You should see which third is missing. Like, do you still have a couch? Just like maybe no chase. You know?
That's what it. Yeah. That's what. Wow, that's pretty good, Dan. Yeah, based on the label of the box, I have the love seat, which is just 2 cushions, and I have the arms. So I just need the chase. But the chase is why I bought it. So, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. And then on top of that, the high gutter. The nails were popping out. So like more than 2/3 of it was hanging off the roof. So I had to call the roofing company. They came over, gave me an estimate. He's like, I'll give you an estimate to replace just the one, an estimate to give you an idea of what to replace the rest of them. So you have all gutters, like new gutters, because instead of the hammer-ons. He's like, and then I asked him to give me an estimate on the roof. How fucking expensive roofs are?
Too fucking expensive.
Unnecessary, dude. Unnecessary.
Roofs and driveways.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. I mean, we got estimates for our roof and it was like $12,000 or something. And I was like, oh shit, like that's expensive. And then we got an estimate for our driveway. And you know how big our driveway is. It's not that big. And it was like $15,000
to do
pour
what?
concrete. I
They
guess
do concrete.
I guess concrete's expensive. I don't know.
Yeah. Why? How much? 15?
Like 15. It was like $4,000 just to remove the old one.
Damn, we could do it. You want to do it? We could do it. I got you. This is what we'll do. We'll take you, me, and subscriber number 1. The 2 of us will fly out. We'll do your driveway. It'll look great. I promise.
What the fuck do you know about concrete work?
Let me tell you something. I'm really good at pouring shit, okay? And if you ever see my pancakes, Libby really makes some pancakes. She's really good at those. But let me tell you something. I can pour shit.
Waffles?
And when we're done with that, subscriber 1 can take your car out for a test drive.
Okay. Does he know anything about pouring concrete?
We all do. We just don't know we do, okay? Until you start doing it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. You gotta lay the rebarb, right? You always need.
We'd have to rent a jackhammer, and that could be kind of fun.
I've used a jackhammer. They are fun. Mm-hmm. Have you ever used one?
No.
Oh, dude, they're fun. When I was at Medieval Times, they were doing work and they were redoing the shower stall, and the guy was like, and like while we were like doing practices, and I walked over and I was like, that looks pretty fun.
Sup?
And he's like, hey, it's all right. I was like, can I try it? He's like, you want to try it? I was like, yeah, I want to try it. And he let me do it. And I was like, I was like, this is fun. I mean, you're sick of it because it's your job. But right now, this is fun for me. Yeah. So, no, we can do it.
We'll consider it.
I mean, do you care that it'll only last like 3 weeks?
I mean, preferably it would last longer than that, yes.
All right. I could probably guarantee like 5 weeks.
Perfect.
No money back guarantee, though.
Oh, I'm not paying you, so.
Yeah, you are, with beer and pizza and food.
Okay.
What's the matter with you? Of course you are. But I can't refund you the food. No. I mean, I could. I could ship it back to you. I see.
We always divulge or devolve into a poop joke. We're men / boys. I mean, fart jokes and poop jokes, they'll never not be funny.
Yeah. We're men.
I mean, the day you make a fart joke and I don't laugh, just have me committed.
I could do that.
Because, like, my life's over at that point. Just hire the hitman. Get put me out of my misery.
Never, Dan.
You wouldn't kill me? I feel like you would.
Jesus Christ.
No, like if I wanted you to. If I was like, stage 4 cancer, I had like 2 weeks to live, and I was in pain. And like they were basically just waiting for me to die. And I was like, just kill me, Adam. Like,
I would hold you in a loving embrace until you passed.
Looking underwater in a bathtub.
It's still loving. I fucking love you
so much.
No, damn. Real quick.
I mean, you might get in trouble.
Anything to that because this is recorded now, going to be on the internet. So I definitely can't say anything. Okay, let's just. If you ever show up dead, they're definitely coming to me real quick. Okay. No, and don't say that. You're not getting cancer. You're not doing anything like that. Stop that.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the right decision.
I think I have to go through Lauren first. So.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not legal at the moment. So there's that aspect. I wouldn't want you to get in trouble.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Now that I have a kid, What else? That's it. That's all my stuff, man.
Did we talk about Boy Scouts yet on this podcast? I don't think so.
Cub Scout Steve is a really sensitive topic for me, Dan. Okay. I thought we were tying knots. No, I'm kidding. No, we haven't. Why?
So we were talking about how the other day, how you had an Eagle Scout. So Adam, everybody that's listening, Adam is an Eagle Scout. The pinnacle of being a Boy Scout. And I don't know if Lauren asked me or we were just discussing like because I didn't get Eagle Scout, but I was in Boy Scouts with Adam, and we were trying to figure out. She was asking, what did you get to, and then why did you ultimately stop? And I had to explain to my wife that I stayed in Boy Scouts as long as Adam did, because I was there when you got your Eagle Scout, and then I quit after you
Yeah,
finished.
yeah.
And when you had an Eagle Scout, I had still not progressed from Scout.
I thought you got first class. You didn't get first? You're
No,
still scout? Yeah,
I
you were.
never even got tenderfoot. So this is maybe a glimpse into my warped personality. So in Cub Scouts, you have lion, tiger, wolf, bear, Weeblo. And then you graduate that. And we all did that. And that was Pinewood Derby, whatever. You're in like 5th grade.
Yep.
And then like in 6th grade, you join Boy Scouts. And it's Scout is the one they give you for free.
They're like, oh, you're still here. Okay.
And then Tenderfoot, 2nd class, 1st class, Star, Life, Eagle.
Yep.
When Adam was on Eagle, I was a Scout.
Yep.
You got your Eagle and I quit.
Yeah, you did.
So
Dan was like, well, that's fun's over.
I don't know how they let me do that. Like, I was in Boy Scouts for like 6 years, just doing nothing. I was showing up for the dodgeball games, going on the camping trips, doing whatever, not getting any badges.
Nope.
Just fucking cruising. I don't know. I mean,
did you even get badges at, yeah, I mean, you got badges at Nobi, right? At Nobi.
I got a couple things. Yeah, at camp. I never had a sash though, where like I put them on because I only had like 4 or 5 or something. You had like 40.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had aviation. I had all archery.
Musketry. So this was like, you know, in a world where I overachieved or I tried to in just every aspect of my life. Somehow in Boy Scouts, I was just fucking cruising.
You were there to fuck around, man.
I had no idea.
And what's funny too is that like I still stuck with Boy Scouts because I did Order of the Arrow. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So I still like, although I was like, I didn't do it for that long. I think maybe I did it for another like 6 months, and I was like, kicked. We're done. This is like real nerd guys. Okay, we're good. But I was still like going to like some of like the true meetings and stuff. And yeah, you were like, you know what it was though? Soccer took a lot of your time. I mean, you were coming towards the end. I remember you were showing up like 15 minutes late. You were in your
from
soccer.
Something else. Yeah.
Yeah. You were grassed up because you were like, you just came from a game. And I was like, dude, what are you doing here? And you're like, I don't know. Straight up. You're just like, I don't know.
I mean, probably the only reason
Dan
I was
like,
there.
are the cookies here yet?
The cookies here, and when's the dodgeball game start?
Yeah.
Because we used to play dodgeball after every meeting, and that was like my favorite part.
And I tried.
I just thought that was funny. I thought that was a very interesting juxtaposition between you and I.
It's the only thing I excelled in. Thanks, Dan. What survival?
Well, I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
this is why on a zombie apocalypse team, you and I are good.
Mm-hmm.
We both need each other.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I said to and Andrew's gonna hate me for bringing this up. Sorry, buddy. But I said to him a couple of years ago. I was like, "Yo, if there was a zombie apocalypse, there was a situation. I was like, you'd want to meet up, right?" He's like, "Fuck no."
What?
And he's not gonna remember. I guarantee he's not gonna remember this. I hear you going, "I don't remember that." Yeah. But yeah, he was like, "Fuck no." I was like, "What do you mean no?" He goes, "No, I'm staying where I am." I said, dude, you realize like you're gonna want to be with me, right? Like I know the survival skills. He goes, yeah, but I don't want to leave like where I'm at. I'm gonna want to like hunker down. I was like, right, but as a team, right, and as a unit, we're gonna do better. He's like, yeah, maybe, but I'm not gonna want to leave. And I was like, that hurts, man.
Everything is awesome when you're part of a team. Yeah, no, you need the team. That's not the same song, is it?
No, that's a Doublemint gum.
Oh. No, the
or is
part
that
of the
Mentos? Is that Mentos? Mentos, the fresh maker.
Fresh does better. Of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
Fresh maker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mentos.
So yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. So, Soccer took over and then Dan got a girlfriend
but friends, right? Apocalypse, Adam, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. You want Adam on your team. But he's on my team, so you can't have him.
There you go. That's all right.
Anywho.
So we did an update. And so you want to do another one when you come back?
Sure. So we'll plan something. We'll put it loosely on next two Sundays from now.
So after my birthday. Dan, do you know when my birthday is? Do you know?
I think it's the 25th. I think it's the 25th.
Hey, he is my friend. All right. Yeah. Libby will be back at work at
Okay.
that point, and I'll probably be extremely stressed out, and I won't have any hair left, and so I'm staying home with Cal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be home probably for the next couple months. What?
You can do it.
I can do it. Yeah, yeah.
You
I
can
heard
do it.
Tylenol really knocks him out for a while. So,
Little Benadryl. Couple
babe, I don't know.
Benadryls.
He's really good. He's just been sleeping a lot lately.
You're getting a lot of help from Jack. Who's Jack? Mr. Daniels.
Rub the gums. Rub the gums. All right, that sounds good, bro.
All right. Awesome. So yeah.
Good luck on your trip, man.
Thank you, good sir.
Enjoy. Wait, did you bring me back anything cool from China?
I did. It did.
I can't wait. Okay, awesome.
I'm not going to tell you though.
Yeah,
I'm going to mail it to you because I don't know next time I'll see you.
Just tack on a flight. Just go out there and then relay to Newark and then pop over. Do an overnight.
I bought you something and I also bought something for Cal.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's
it's exciting.
Thank you.
Well, I think I'll mail it to you and then we can open it on
As
one
a
of the
reveal?
podcasts.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that. Sweet. Is it fireworks? No, I'm kidding.
Sticks of dynamite.
It's like it's the only thing that you can't get here. It's a giant stick of dynamite. You know what's sad is that I would use it too. That's the sad part. I'm like, come into your head. Toss it. Yeah. Adam's in the hospital right now.
So
all right,
it
brother.
reminds me that scene in The Simpsons when Bart takes one of the Duff beers and he wants to shake it up as an April Fool's joke. And so he takes it to the paint store and has it shooken up like in one of those paint shakers. And as he's bringing it inside to put into the fridge,
it's like, literally like
it's like vibrating, and he like delicately puts it into the fridge, and then Homer goes in to open it, and you see Bart at the end of the kitchen going, April Fool!
April Fool! That's going to be my house.
Classic.
That's awesome.
Anywho.
All right, brother. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you, sir. I'll eat some schnitzel.
Bye. Do you want to do bye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. See ya.
All right. Bye.